Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Let the Record Show with Judge Richard Weinberg,
Suffolk County Republican Committee Chairman Jesse Garcia,
and essayist and commentator Eric Levine on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back to Let the Record Show with Chairman Jesse Garcia of the Republican Party. Jesse is a vice chair of the New York State Republican Party and the county chair of the Suffolk County Party. With us is our good friend, co-host, Eric Levine, noted attorney, commentator, and essayist. I'm Judge Richard Weinberg, and today we're delighted to invite back and have with us Senator Dave McCormick of the great state, or actually the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The senator is a graduate of West Point, has a Ph.D. from Princeton, served as Undersecretary of Commerce, Undersecretary of the Treasury, was elected to the Senate, where he serves on the Foreign Affairs Committee, Foreign Affairs, Joint Economic Committee, and Energy. Senator, we're delighted to have you with us. Thank you for joining us.
Mo, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Eric, your turn with the senator.
Dave, welcome. Great to have you back.
Thanks, Eric.
So I'd love to talk to you about artificial intelligence. It's obviously a very important topic. And, we're honored to have someone who actually has actual intelligence who can speak about artificial intelligence.
I don't know about that. My wife would call that into question sometimes. But
well, we'll have her on the show next so we can ask her about that.
That's what all wives are for, Senator.
All right. Listen, I believe that we are in a moment of such historical significance with the AI revolution and really the energy revolution, because they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other because the energy demands of AI are so profound. But I think this is the most important thing that's happening in our lifetimes, Eric. I think it's like the Industrial Revolution on steroids. It's going to create unknown, unbelievable breakthroughs in science and curing diseases and nuclear power and advanced manufacturing, unfortunately, and weaponry. And it's a race for leadership that we must win, competing against communist China. And so this is really a rivalry, an adversary that poses a real risk to us, because if we don't have AI leadership in the world, I think we really face significant consequences from that. And I've tried to lead the way by making sure that Pennsylvania is at the point of the spear for America's efforts to do this. And the reason I think we're well positioned is we've got Carnegie Mellon, which is probably the number one university in the country for AI, but we also have enormous energy capability with natural gas, nuclear power plants. We've got a great workforce in the building trades, skilled workers, welders, and pipe fitters and steam fitters to build this energy infrastructure, to build these data centers. And this revolution's happening. Whether we like it or not, and I think the big question for all of us is: are we going to lead, or are we going to follow up behind? Are we going to be the tail that's wagged by the dog? And my argument is America needs to lead, and I think we're making good strides on that with President Trump's leadership and what we're doing in Pennsylvania.
So I couldn't agree with you more that we need to win this fight. And when I think you call it a war, it literally is. It has implications for war and peace. But what do you see as the primary challenges facing the United States in winning the AI race with China?
I think basically our future depends much more on what we do than what they do. In other words, we have the tools, we have the leadership, we have the capability to win. but we kind of have to get out of our own way. So the energy demands are enormous. So we have to have permitting reform that allows us to build the energy capability that's required to support these data centers, but also to make sure that energy prices don't go up. We've got to have an ability to win the war for talent. By that I mean attract the brightest minds from around the world, not just in America, to support this. And obviously, I'm very supportive of our efforts to close the borders of illegal immigration, but at the same time, our success as an innovative country has been based on the fact that we've attracted the brightest minds in the world to work on this incredible technology. And finally, we got to deal with the very real consequences of this revolution. And it's going to be disruptive. All revolutions are disruptive. Look at the Industrial Revolution. So this is going to risk raising energy prices. We have to deal with that. There's genuine and legitimate concerns about the environmental consequences of having these big data centers in your backyard. And of course, there's the disruption associated with jobs. In Pennsylvania, I think we have a pretty good sense of that. I think it's the AI revolution is likely to create tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of new jobs for skilled workers in terms of building this infrastructure. But I think it's going to be pretty damaging to some white-collar professions. And so we've got to train our kids, our next generation of people, to be able to adapt to the new opportunities that come out in AI. So we can't sell people a bill of goods. This isn't just all good. This is going to be disruptive. And so we need to, the net benefits are extraordinary, but we also have to address the disruption to make sure that the AI revolution helps create opportunity for everybody.
So you made reference to data centers. I don't think people fully appreciate what a data center is in this context. I mean, these standalone huge buildings which contain the AI infrastructure, which require an incredible amount of energy to run. And as I understand how some of these are supposed to be powered, is they're standalone. Some of them want to build modular nuclear, some of them need solar, some of them need fossil fuels. How do we get these data centers up and running? How do we get the energy to the grid generally, or more importantly, specifically, to these data centers?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're right in the description. They create enormous compute power. So the idea is to create a data center that has enormous compute capability, and that supports the AI working across all these different industries. And they're very energy intensive, as you described. So it takes an enormous amount of energy to support them. So the only way that the AI revolution is going to work, where you build all this new data center capability, is that if you have energy infrastructure and transmission capability that's built in tandem. And ideally, what you want to have is dedicated power for every new data center, natural gas or nuclear or some other form of power. And ideally, and this is what's beginning to happen, many of these data centers will come with a power support, a power partner, but that power partner should create more energy than is even required by the data center. So essentially what you'll be able to say to a community is, listen, we're going to show up in your community, we're going to build this big data center, we're going to build out energy infrastructure side by side, we're going to create more power than the energy that's required for the data center. And then on top of that, you're going to get the many thousands of jobs in building the data center and building the energy infrastructure. You're going to get the permanent jobs that are created in running them. But then these data centers, Eric, the thing most people don't understand is every 4 years, the compute power in them, the servers get updated. So there's many more thousands of jobs that come in and update all the new technology every 4 years. And then you have all the surrounding economic activity, the restaurants, the hotels, the truck drivers. So these are economic engines for growth, but we've got to have adequate power to support them and support the grid more broadly.
So it's fair to say that the Green New Deal, which the radical left advocates, just would not be physically capable of delivering the amount of energy necessary to power these data centers.
Not even close. Not even close. We need fossil fuels. We need natural gas. Frankly, we need nuclear. which, our nuclear industry has been more or less shut down of new capacity for 30 years. We need to unlock that with all sorts of investment in nuclear power. And listen, I'm a guy who says all the above. I'm in favor of solar or wind or whatever there is, as long as it's economical. In other words, it's not dependent on government subsidies. Whatever the market will bear, we should get that energy infrastructure. The problem with solar and wind in the Green New Deal, not only were they subsidized, so that helped drive up inflation, but the problem with them is it's intermittent power. It depends on a certain wind or certain sun situation for the solar. So these data centers have to have baseload power. They have to have consistent power they can depend on. So intermittent power like wind or solar can contribute to the grid, but it's not adequate to meet the needs. Frankly, it's not adequate to meet the needs absent the data centers, but it's certainly not adequate to meet the needs with the data center. So we need a lot more energy capacity, and fossil fuels are going to be a big part of it. And by the way, those fossil fuels, particularly natural gas, is extremely clean. It's part of the reason our carbon emissions are going down so much is natural gas is so much cleaner. And then nuclear power is going to be a huge part of the future. Believe it or not, Eric, nuclear power comprises 30% of the electricity in Pennsylvania today. And that number we hope will rise in the years ahead.
That's even with the fracking that's legal in Pennsylvania, but not in New York. That's
right.
That's pretty remarkable. So I think we can all agree on what the upside is to AI. It helps us with the military. It helps us with medical research. Some people would argue it helps us because, as you point out, it could eliminate the need for lawyers. You were talking about some white-collar folks. So I think some people would say that's an upside.
I didn't want to say lawyers because I know you're a lawyer, but you get the point.
You didn't have to tell anyone, but it's okay.
What are you going to do about all the judges, retired judges?
Talk about artificial intelligence. But in any event, but there are also some downsides. If we learn nothing from the internet, we learn that as wonderful as having all that power in our hands to be able to do research and learn things so quickly, there are also dangers that are associated with that. And that's going to, seems to me, it's also going to have a very serious problem with AI in that regard, whether it's developing chemical weapons, whether it's developing malign software that can invade computers and hacking. We've read about young people tragically who have killed themselves because they've created an AI companion who's betrayed them in some way. So how do we safeguard, or how do we protect the American people from the malign effects of AI?
Yeah, you've zeroed in on just a really important question. There's, of course, the disruptive things I talked about with job loss and energy prices and so forth, but you're talking about something that's in many ways much more insidious and risky. And it's essentially how we have a set of ethical guidelines. I think those should be driven at the federal, not at the state level, because you want to create a regulatory framework, an ethical set of guidelines that, on one hand, create the right guardrails for the use of the technology, but on the other hand, don't stall innovation. And if California has a different standard than New York, than Pennsylvania, we're going to lose the ability of national progress and innovation in AI. But at the same time, I just listened to Jonathan Haidt on a podcast the other day on Honestly with Barry Weiss. If you haven't listened to it, it's worthwhile. But what social media has done to our children in terms of mental health and instability and all sorts of things when they take it on an early age, that risk is multiplied, compounded many times over with AI because it's so incredibly powerful. So I think there needs to be some regulation around the deployment of AI, around how the models are construed, the degree to which the models can drive a certain ideology. And I also believe there needs to be a set of self-governing steps taken by the AI hyperscalers and others to make sure that AI doesn't disrupt our society. It needs to be done in concert with the government and the private sector and the research community. I think it's one of the big unanswered questions right now about how this progresses. And, I think we're probably right in these early days to lean against being overly regulated. But I think as the technology matures, we're going to have to get in front of that. And frankly, we didn't with social media. And I think that's caused us a lot of societal problems.
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
This is Jason Momoa, and I'll be your finance professor today. Welcome to Banking Smarter 101 with Chime. Bam! First lesson, sign up for Chime and set up direct deposit. You'll be joining millions of members banking fee-free. Second lesson, get cash back on eligible purchases while building credit and a higher APY on your savings. That's how you bank smarter this season. Fa-la-la-la-la, class dismissed. Join Chime today.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and a secure Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees-info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secure Chime Visa credit card purchases. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn about credit building and more at chime.com.
Say hello to the all-new Alexa Plus and see how Alexa can do so much more for you. Need tickets to see your favorite artist? Craving your comfort restaurant? Just sit back, relax, and talk naturally. Alexa's on it. It learns your style, anticipates what's next, and makes it happen across Echo, Fire TV, and more. Learn more at amazon.com/new Alexa.
Senator, I have to cut off Eric's line of inquiry. It was fascinating.
It was too intelligent.
It was
for
over. Dealing with my own intellectual problems here. I have to do the best I can. Having the best I can, I will now turn you over to Chairman Garcia of the Republican Party, who has some questions for you.
Great.
Senator, thank you again. And let me just begin by first thanking you for your service. I mean, not only I see you're a West Point graduate and also served in 82nd Airborne. So I want to thank you for your service. And it's always wonderful to see more veterans serving in our government. And in between these two sessions of AI, and I think that the anchor of our show, Judge Weinberg, will ask you about foreign policy. I look at politics and relationships, and you have engaged in a relationship in the U.S. Senate that's unique. And for those of us who are about my age or age of everyone in this room remembers The Odd Couple. That's the relationship and the partnership you have established with Senator Fetterman, who is, I think, they're 2 years longer than you right now, from Pennsylvania. I mean, you two were diametrically opposed on everything, but in a very polarized Congress and in the Senate, you seem to have come together on common issues, certainly when it comes to Pennsylvania, which is what the people of Pennsylvania sent you to do there on their behalf, regardless of party labels, but also in terms of national issues that are important to everyone, all of our Americans throughout the country. Tell our listeners who would be interested on the backstory about how that relationship came to be, how it has grown, and who's Felix and who's Oscar in this relationship.
Well, I'm not too old to remember that series myself, but listen, first of all, my wife used to give me such a hard time about how I would dress. She no longer gives me much of trouble. I can usually wear whatever I want now that I'm hanging out with Fetterman. And this is a guy who campaigned against me with Bob Casey.
Yes.
And so I didn't know him. We sat down soon after I won the election, and he was just refreshingly honest. He said, listen, I don't have much taste for the nastiness of politics these days. He goes, we disagree on so many things, which we do, but let's try to find a way to work together. And that began a partnership and a real friendship between the two of us. We disagree on more than we agree on, but I respect him. I admire him, and I trust him. And we agree to work whenever we can on behalf of Pennsylvania. And, we got to know each other early on. The four of us, my wife and his wife and I, went out to dinner in Pittsburgh. And, the people were lined up around the restaurant to get a selfie with John Fetterman. And he got through about the fourth or fifth selfie. And he kind of sheepishly looked over and he said, Hey guys, he's a senator too. I think he was worried. I wasn't getting any attention. And then, it just progressed. And, as you probably noted, because of his strong stance on Israel, and he and I are lockstep on fighting against anti-Semitism and supporting Israel, he just started getting attacked by his party, questioning his cognitive abilities and so forth. And nobody was defending him. And I sent him a text message and I said, hey, nobody's defending you. I don't want to hurt you, but would you like me to come out and support you and defend you? And he said, listen, nobody else is. Please do. And so I came out very publicly and defended him. And then some other Republicans came out, and then some Democrats came out. And it's just through these things together that I think we forged a very trusting partnership and a real friendship.
Well, Senator.
That's fantastic.
Well, if I could just, let me just say real quick. As a member of the American Jewish community, I want to just give a huge shout out to John Fetterman. He is a profile in courage. He truly is.
Yeah.
I think it's...
There's no doubt about it. I
have to tell you, Senator, as somebody who was totally against Fetterman, and even though Eric will deny it and Jesse Garcia will back me up on it, I am the House Democrat.
More importantly, your wife will deny it.
My wife denies it, but I'm the last of the common sense Democrats. Former Governor Dave Patterson and I are the last two that I know. We do a head count to make sure we're both around. But I have to tell you something. I was against Fetterman. I thought it was absolutely irresponsible of the Democratic Party to push him forward. I didn't think he was capable. I thought he was just a front for other people behind the scenes manipulating him. And I have to tell you something. I think he's turned out to be one of the great surprises, a very pleasant surprise, in the United States Senate and as a national leader. And I think that what Jesse Garcia has just articulated, that political marriage between the two of you of common sense, decent people who love America, who care about doing the right thing, that have moral compasses, who understand that if we don't have common sense leadership and move to work together, this country's in trouble. And as you know, given your military background and being on the Foreign Relations Committee, you know that our outside enemies want to divide us. We have internal enemies who want to divide us. And you and Senator Fetterman are the best of America. I'm not going to have a chance to talk to you because I'm getting a hard call from the control room. Of course, Jesse and Eric and I would love to have you back at your convenience to talk about a myriad of issues, foreign policy amongst others.
I'd love to join you again. I'd be honored to do it. And thank you guys for having me and for those nice words. And thank you for what you're doing. Getting these issues out in front of everybody is really critical. So thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Senator.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to Let the Record Show with Judge Weinberg, Chairman Jesse Garcia, and Eric Levine. You can hear Let the Record Show Sunday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. Like, Mint is still premium, unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day, yeah?
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.